Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rock and Roll Union Streamcast. This is CT, man. Really great show for you tonight. We got a band rocking out of New York, Ten Ton MoJo. We're going to be talking to them about everything that they got going on. But before we do, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Rosenfeld Dental Associates, located at 1095 Inman Avenue in Edison, New Jersey. Come rock your smile for the Rock Doc. Dave Rosenfeld nominated once again for one of the top dentists of 2022. Make sure that you mention Rock and Roll Union or CT when booking your first appointment, and you will get an amazing discount, guys. A lot of great stuff going on, a lot of good music to be discussed this evening. And without further ado, I'd like to bring on Scott Weiland. Bear with me as I bring them all on. Dave Anthony and Paul Sugarcane. How's everybody doing, guys?
All right, what's happening,
man?
We're doing,
man. So you guys were listed as one of the top bands in New York, and been doing a lot of good stuff, opening up for Kicks, Molly Hatchet, Enuff Z'nuff. How'd you guys get started? How long you guys been around?
We've been around a good 5 to 7 years, I would say. The current lineup only about 2 years. We've been through some member changes, but the band's been kicking around New York for about that much time, and we've all been active on the New York music scene, either collectively or separately.
Nice. And now I know that you guys have been putting out new music. I've been following you guys on Spotify. Everyone watching, you guys can go ahead and do that as well. But I noticed you guys have you just put out Sticky Sweet. Before that, at the beginning of the year, you put out Bad Love. You guys are more into releasing singles than albums. Is that anything that's going to change, or do you guys like that kind of method?
That's something that's going to change in the future. We're currently in the works of doing a EP. As you probably know, we're signed to Curtain Call Records. All our releases are on Curtain Call Records. We've done Carmelita, Bad Love, and now Dirty Sweet, which just came out. And we do singles with them, and then we're going to do an EP and maybe do a full-length record down the road. But right now, we're pretty comfortable with the single release. We kind of like it.
Now, is the recordings that you guys have been doing, has that all been held in-house, or is that something that you guys actually have a studio that you enjoy going into?
We have a process for recording. We work with the producer, Max Norman. Max Norman produced Ozzy Osbourne, Megadeth, bands like that. He's kind of our guru, our guy, our go-to guy, and we have a studio in the New York area that we like to use, that we go to with Max, that Max prefers.
So let's talk a little bit about influence. You guys can definitely hear a lot of Southern rock, a lot of old school rock and roll feel, which is my passion, man. Rock and roll is like the biggest thing to me. It feels a lot anymore that there's just, I mean, rock, but there's only so many shows you can go there and fold your arms to. You want something to help you move, party to. And you guys definitely do that. Where do you guys pull your influences from? What you guys listen to growing up?
Humble Pie and AC/DC.
I was gonna say, big fan of Led Zeppelin, Black Crowes.
I mean, I think, you know, when you put it all in the blender, even though we're like a New York band, you know, the stuff, we still got that Skinner, that Allman Brothers influence kind of comes through in our music a lot. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it just kind of happens that way, and we don't really talk about it. We don't really think about it, but it just kind of happens. But we call ourselves the new classic rock because we all love. I think the reason we play together is we all love that whole Bad Company, Zeppelin, Sabbath, AC/DC, Humble Pie, that whole late 60s, 70s hard rock thing is where we all kind of land and go, yeah, man, we all love those bands, you know? And that's where I think it comes from.
Now, fortunately, there's been a new influx of some younger bands that are coming out, kind of got that classic sound, Dirty Honey being one of them, bands like Greta Van Fleet, things like that. Anything new that you guys are into that like you feel captures that essence?
I mean, I like all that stuff. There's a band out of Canada called Monster Truck that's very cool too. But Rival Sons, they're a little bit of an older band, but we like them. Next, at the end of a month here, we're playing with a band called the Blues Vultures, and that's Ronnie from Kix's solo band.
Oh yeah,
they're cool. They got the classic rock thing going on too, you know. So yeah, you know, the new classic rock. I mean, that's what it's all about, you know.
I believe on that bill is also the same band that does my intro song, Rat Rod. I believe is on that bill with you guys.
Right on.
And
that's the one in Delaware at Bar 13.
Great place for a show. We've done numerous shows over at Bar 13. Great place. Have you guys played Bar 13 before?
No, first time.
Man, what I'll tell you about Bar 13, and it's kind of funny, is it's an industrial type place. Industrial metal kind of vibe to the place. And when you get in there, I've always done the rock and roll shows over there, and I've always kind of like put shows in there, and they do a lot of like harder metal, but they have so many different things going on. They have like they have bondage things in the back. Like, it's crazy. It's a really cool spot. I think you guys will enjoy it. The stage is fantastic.
Great. Looking forward to that, man.
Yeah, psyched.
That's gonna be on the Sunday after we do. We're doing West Virginia on Friday the 26th. We're playing in York, PA on the 27th at the Racehorse Tavern, and then we're playing Bar 13 on the 28th.
Man, you guys are busy.
That's all with the Blues Vultures.
Now, what I got to say, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. The cool thing with Bar 13, and I'm sure some of the other venues that you guys have played, is when a venue is built for music, it's a complete different feeling than when it's something that just happens to have music on site. Like, they'll set you up on the tile, or they'll set you up in the corner of the floor somewhere. Mm-hmm. Any experience with that? Any places that like you guys really enjoy playing, as opposed to maybe some other places where you get tired, you get claustrophobic?
Well, we definitely like the bigger rooms. You know, we do like the rooms that were built for, you know, live music. But not for nothing, we've had some great crowds and a lot of great times at smaller places where it's not necessarily designed that way, but they cram a bunch of people in there and they throw us little stage down, and the band gets close and the people get closer, and it's a good time, you know?
So I just had this discussion about choreography at smaller or larger stages earlier.
Yeah, so we don't crash into each other, but you know, it's all great as long as the crowd is there for it, you know, big or small.
Now, you guys said you're heading out to West Virginia. What's the furthest you guys have played out?
Oh, we've been out to LA. We played the Viper Room.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been around, you know. and we hope to be back out there again soon.
Is there any certain parts of the country that you guys prefer?
I think we really, really want to play down south. We haven't yet because of the sound of our tunes, because of that Southern rock influence. We want to get down to Nashville and New Orleans and places like that. We haven't been there yet, but it's definitely in the plans for the rest of 2022 and 2023.
Florida and Georgia too, because there's great rock crowds down there. Florida, Georgia, Texas.
I hear that. I heard Midwest is fantastic for rock and roll right now.
Yeah, man. I know the Chicago area would be great for this band. We're going out to Ohio. We're doing the Easy Rider Festival the weekend of September 3rd out in Ohio. So we are going to be in the Midwest starting in early September.
So let's talk a little bit about the newest single, Dirty Sweet, man. How'd that come about? Who wrote that and where to come from?
I wrote the original riff, and it came from the story about a girl who was, beautiful, but not exactly, squeaky clean. So we came up with the Dirty Sweet. And she was a girl that, we used to go see to buy certain things off of her. And we gave her the name Dirty Sweet. So she was that girl, and we wrote a song about it.
Is she aware of the song?
Yeah, she's aware of it. It's not bad. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, no. And the tune is absolutely awesome. But I also wanted to touch on the one that you guys did right before that, which was Bad Love. And are you guys looking to do any kind of videos, any kind of packaging as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, there'll be a video for Dirty Sweet coming soon. And of course, Carmelita, our first single, has the video on it as well.
Man.
So check that one out.
How long have you guys known each other prior to being a band? Did you guys know each other, or was it just something that you guys kind of connected with?
I mean, yeah, I was going to say.
When the band. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, sorry, it's cutting out a little here. I got rain coming in, but I joined the guys about 4 years ago, and it's been awesome on my end. I did not know any of them prior to this. I knew a mutual guy named Billy Cahood from Grimjack, and he put me in touch with Scott, and Scott in touch with me, and essentially went out for an audition and been in love with the guys ever since.
Awesome. How about you, Paul?
Scotty and I are the two original members.
Nice.
When the band was forming with the first singer, I answered an ad in The Voice they were looking for a drummer, and I answered an ad in The Village Voice. And that's and that's how the band came together. Yeah.
Man, that's going back some.
Couple of years.
Man, I remember. I don't know if you guys remember Trading Times. There used to be a lot of good resources that we don't seem to have around anymore. But as far as rock and roll, there's been a disconnect from a lot of the younger crowd. I'm sure you guys have seen as far as attendance. I've been to some shows, even national acts, Buck Cherry, Fozzy, some other bands where it's hard to pull a crowd anymore. Any ideas why? Any thoughts to that? And have you guys experienced that?
I mean, I've seen pretty mixed crowds at our shows. You know, I've seen folks my age, and I've seen some pretty young folks out there too. And I think it's just if the music appeals, you know, if they dig the music, they'll hear about it. They'll come to the shows. I don't know if it's I don't even know if putting that on the whole thing is worth doing, because fuck it, let everybody come out and check it out. You know, I encourage everybody to come and check out my friends' bands, my band. And let's all do this together. You know what I mean? Forget about the number. Forget about the number.
So you brought up something, Paul, that's a really big factor, and it's something that I've talked to a lot of younger bands about, and that's the importance of showing up for other bands. And as far as being in a band and showing support to other bands, how important is that for you guys to get out there and just show support when you can?
It's very important. I mean, if nobody knows about you, they're not going to come to see you. So you got to go and hang out. You know, I like going and seeing my friends' bands and hanging out like that. But there's some occasions I go out because I want to be there and I want to network and I want to meet the other guys in the other bands. Throw my card around, throw a sticker on the blow dryer in the bathroom, and make sure everybody knows about 10 Ton MoJo. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
You got to get out there and hang out, and that's how that network gets created and stays alive.
Now, and also as far as like the times that you guys play and oversaturating the market, and that's another problem that some bands just starting out have an issue with, is oversaturating the market, maybe playing the same area 2-3 times within a month. What do you guys, I know you guys have your shows so widely scattered, different areas, different places. Is that a problem that you guys see in some of the bands that you guys are close with, is oversaturation?
I don't know about that. New York's got a music scene. A lot of our friends that play in bands in our local New York scene, you know, we'll play together. You know, we'll put a bill together. So it's a night out for everybody, and it's a party. I mean, obviously, Ten Ton MoJo travels more than a lot of those bands, but you know, it seems to be okay in a big city like New York. I don't know how that would play in a smaller city.
Now, as far as like some of the venues and some of the like trying to get the word out about shows or different things that you guys got going on, how important is it to find that promoter or that booker or that even bar owner or venue owner to help you get that word out? I mean, I've seen some venues that do absolutely nothing. Like they'll put live band, like up on the wall it says live band Saturday night. You have no idea who's coming. And then there's other bar owners that'll go out of their way and make sure that they got a good record of who's coming through and who's doing what. How important is it to have that kind of helping you as far as promoting shows like that?
Well, it's critical, obviously, especially when we're playing out of town. We need the help promoting the show. So, you know, if we have a bad experience or we feel like it didn't work out for us,
plus you got to do. You know. Sorry, Scotty.
Good.
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, plus, you know, we take some of that into our own hands too, because we'll get in, if we're in touch with whoever promoter from whatever club, and we'll mail them. We'll make posters, physical posters, and mail them to the club so they can hang them up.
Right.
So they know they're coming. You know, we don't play around with promotion. We're very busy. We're very on that social media and everything. You got to be there. If you're not visible, you ain't gonna come.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be a very critical piece of things going on right now in that scene. And Paul, could you talk a little bit more about that? Like, what are you say if you're not seen, then it's going to reflect on nobody coming out to see it. What are some other things that you see maybe bands not doing or could do better that'll help promote that show?
Well, I mean, you know, I think it's everybody. You got to take a page out of everybody who came before you. You got to take a page out of their book. What did the Rolling Stones do? They got a logo. You see it everywhere. You know what I mean? Zeppelin. It's recognizable. You got to be recognizable. People got to see when they see our artwork. They know that's 10 Ton MoJo. You know what I mean?
Right.
What other bands do is what they do. I mean, I'm concerned with getting our name out there, getting our identity out there, and getting our brand in front of people. That's that. Scott Weiland taught me that.
Any thoughts on that, Scott?
Well, I mean, you know, like Paul said, you got to be
and
recognizable. And
here I hold. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
There it is. You know, any of those iconic bands, they have iconic logos. They don't change those logos. They leave them. And you know the band. You know what you're getting when you see it. And that it's the old keep it simple. We keep it simple, and we promote ourselves. Every show we do, we make sure it's fully promoted, posters, radio like this or in any way we can. And of course, Curtain Call, our label, helps us with that tremendously. You know.
Bringing Paul back up. Paul dropped out for a second.
There he is.
Paul A. There he is.
But
I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you, new age technology has a way of crapping out on you. But
I can't believe I stayed in. I'm in a car right now and it's raining around me. I'm like, I'm going to drop in a minute. Like,
so I mean,
I'm in my kitchen for God's sake.
So, what you guys putting the EP out? Is that going to be a like a break from you guys playing shows, or is that just going to be like coinciding with playing somewhere?
I think it'll be coinciding. We'll probably do some record release stuff and all that. So, I think the gigs just keep rolling. The train just keeps rolling.
Now, you guys have opened for some big acts.
We don't take many breaks.
Say that again, Paul.
So we don't take many breaks, man. We just keep it moving.
That's awesome.
choo choo, baby.
A comment from one of our viewers says, you guys are amazing.
Right.
Thank you.
So, but the other thing I wanted to ask you about is as far as the new music coming out, is it different from anything that you guys have felt in the past, or?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, it's the same style, obviously. It's the Ten Ton MoJo sound. It's just a bunch of songs we haven't released yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And as far as the end of this year, are you guys looking? Will that EP be out this year, or are we looking more towards next year?
I think we're hoping by the end of the year.
Awesome. So I know you guys mentioned a couple shows. Can you run them by me again, so where people can come out and check you guys out?
All right. Well, this weekend we got Wheelie Fest up in Lackawaxen County, Roland, PA. Wheelie Fest. That's this Saturday coming, the 13th. On the 20th, we're going to be at the Garage at Lucy's up in Westchester, Pleasantville. August 26th, we're going to be at Angel's Bar and Grill in West Virginia. That's Inwood, West Virginia. The 27th, we're going to be at the Racehorse Tavern in York, PA. And the 28th, we're going to be at Bar 13, Wilmington, Delaware. Then September 3rd, we're playing the Easy Rider Fest in Bloomville, Ohio. And then September 16th, I just happen to be, let me see if I can get these. Can you see those? Yep. Those are tickets for us opening up for Texas Hippie Coalition. And if you guys have some connects in Jersey there, man, run those people out to Artie's in Frenchtown for that show.
Absolutely, man.
And if they want to buy a ticket, can I pitch for the ticket?
Oh yeah,
you can send 20 cold hard dollars to @Ten Ton MoJo on Venmo. And I don't know, can you leave a message there on Venmo? Leave your address, and I'll personally send you the ticket if you buy a ticket. $20 to Venmo @Ten Ton MoJo for the tickets for Texas Hippie Coalition, us as direct support. September 16th, Artie's in Frenchtown.
Great promoter behind that show, Joe Amabile. He's a good friend of mine. We're actually running a show later on in September. But yeah, great spot, great dude. And man, with Texas Hippie, man, them guys can throw down as well. That's gonna be a hell of a show.
Yep.
Yeah, super excited for that one. That should be awesome. And just to interject there's one right before that, the weekend before, will be actually one of our only hometown shows that we have during the entire summer. Will be September 10th, Marvin's Grocery.
That's right.
So this is a shout out to Paul.
Did you get that CT? It sounded like he was cutting out there.
No, I got it. And Vinny Bafangucci.
No, I know. I see you, Vinny. I see you, Vinny. Can Vinny hear me? Do I type back to him, or what do I do?
No, he can hear you. He can hear you.
You can talk back to him.
Yeah, bottom line. So as far
Vinny Bafangucci, yeah, I know it's him. Tell him happy birthday again.
He can hear you.
Oh, he can hear me. All right.
Yeah.
What do I know? What do I know?
So, with all that being said, the last question that I want to ask you guys before we wrap this up, any favorite venues in New York or elsewhere that you guys have been that you enjoy playing and can't wait to get back to?
For me, it's the Bowery Ballroom, my favorite room in New York.
Gramercy Theater for me, and Arlene's Grocery.
We're about to play it next weekend. Wheelie
ahead,
Fest
Dave.
is one of my favorite places. I was going to say Wheelie Fest, Black Wax in PA. That's honestly one of my favorite places to play.
Now, Wheelie Fest, I got to ask, is that like a bike rally? It sounds like a bike rally.
You'd think so with the name, right? But it's. I think it's more attuned to cars, like the name now. But it started as the Screaming Cheetah Wheelies Festival, who broke up years ago, and they just had their reunion actually recently for like 20 years. I went to a couple shows. It was great, but that's where it came from.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with us tonight. Please keep in touch. Anything that comes by Ten Ton MoJo, please throw it up on the Rock and Roll Union page, including sites for tickets or anything else. So, and
cool.
One last thing, I'm sorry.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Just wanted to get one more thing from you guys for our viewers. Website, social media pages, that kind of thing. How do people find you?
You can find us at www.tentonmojo.com, just like the band spells it. We're available on all social media platforms, including Instagram and Facebook, and of course on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere you can stream music. Don't forget about our YouTube channel, and if you go to our website, you'll find links to all the connecting spots.
Awesome. Sounds great, brothers. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, guys.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, CT. See you, brother.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right, guys. That was Ten Ton MoJo. Man, make sure you guys check them out. Get out to some of the shows coming through. It's going to be amazing, and really can't wait to check them guys out. But yeah, a lot of great stuff going on, guys. A lot of good stuff. Just wanted to remind you that our show was Sick Vicky coming up September 23rd. Tickets are still on sale for that. But they're going pretty quick. So we're coming up into just a couple weeks for that show, man. Maybe about a month we're looking at, and really getting excited, man. You're talking Sick Vicky. You're talking Monte Carlo, Rat Rod, and Instinct. Going to be a hell of a show. Our next live event, our next thing coming out to you guys. And next week, I'm going to be on vacation. We'll be doing vinyl siding next week on the Beach Boys towards the end of the week. Look out for that. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you like and subscribe, like the show, subscribe to the channel. And we will be doing a very exciting show in 2 nights. On Thursday night, we'll be doing a special edition of Vinyl Siding, all on Master of Puppets. We're going to talk all the Metallica hoopla that's been going on lately, as well as reviewing the albums. So make sure you guys tune in for that one. So, guys, that's about it for me. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And until next time, don't just leave it better. Have a great night, guys.